What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Um, it's a beautiful day here in Richmond. Um, it is June 7th. Happy 6-7 day. um, as I was coming outside to do this video, there was a groundhog just chilling in the backyard. And it seemed appropriate and impactful for me because the groundhog represents, um, spiritually speaking, introspection, um, boundaries, connection to Mother Earth. Um, just a very, very deep spirit animal. Um, and I have had quite a few experiences walking along the James River where a groundhog will follow me. And I'm talking for a couple miles. So I've had some really powerful experiences with the groundhog. So I thought that was significant that he showed up as I came outside. Um, I've also had a deep connection to owls and rabbits. Um, yeah, some just amazing spirit animals throughout my whole life. Animals have been interwoven through my journey since I was little. Um, I'm like I've said in many of my videos before, I never have like anything really prepared that I want to talk about when I come on. And today there's no exception to that. I just seem to be at a loss for words lately as far as like the direction that this world is headed. So I know it's very difficult for many people to stay hopeful and optimistic as things continue to spiral downward in a very fast pace. Um, One of the videos I watched this morning was about a futuristic city in China, Xiangyang, I believe it was, and the the technology and the buildings, the infrastructure, the safety of this city was astronomical compared to anything the United States could even dream of. They had drones delivering food and packages. Uh, Almost everything was automated. There was drone police, there's robot police everywhere. Of course, there's cameras everywhere. Um, but the architecture of the buildings, the public transportation, everything is just decades beyond anything the United States could dream of. Um, and, that city's only 45 years old. So, um, as far as the United States and the declining empire, China is uh, decades ahead of the United States. And this whole AI race is ridiculous. Like they're light years ahead of us. And does that worry me? No, not at all. Uh, what I would like is for us to be able to learn, you know, from China, and the economic growth that they have displayed over the past decade is nothing short of impressive. If you listen to any economist with an open mind who talks frankly about the state of the United States and where we are as compared to China, it's, don't let your pride get in the way of, like, because of course all of this was, implanted into us through propaganda. Yeah, the powerful United States is number one. Don't let any of that get in the way of seeing what China is doing, and what we can learn from other countries and cultures. And there's no doubt in my mind that the declining um, United States empire is well on its way to becoming a third world country. Of course, the elites will always have their power and their wealth and their money, but the majority of us will be seeking out homeless shelters, living in tents or in our cars. Um, Meanwhile, in China, you can pay $26 to just chill in a spa all day with all kinds of hot tubs, massage, pedicures, video games, computers. They have hammocks, beds that you can sleep in for $26. You can just go enjoy this spa type atmosphere and get a massage and just relax, watch movies, play on the computer all day. And by the way, free drinks and fruit bar, and just relax, for the whole weekend, $26. So go try to find a hotel for a week, somewhere in the hood, and you're going to pay probably anywhere from $350 to $500 a week if you want a little kitchenette, you know. And meanwhile, there's people knocking on your door asking for a few dollars for a hit of crack. The police are pulling up because there's been an assault or a robbery. And this is the state of America. You know, uh, this is the type of thing that I'm talking about as far as a comparison between the two. Okay. So don't go attack me in the comments, about how China's a communist country and you were giving up your freedom and, all this ridiculous. Of course, there are some negatives to living in a communist country. There's no doubt about that. Don't get me wrong. China has its fair share of problems, just like the United States. But what I'm saying is, there are other countries living in different economic, and different governments that are doing just fine, if not better, than the United States. Okay. Um, but my main message, of course, as always, is that we will need to break away from the system that we are in, all of them, not just capitalism, but of course the health system, the two party, Republican Democratic bullshit that divides everybody. This the whole political process is a big facade, and they're all just puppets, of course. And then the education system is broken, the health system, like I said. um, Everything is just broken and falling apart as we speak. And this is not like fear mongering. I'm not trying to scare anybody or, try to convince you that the apocalypse is coming. None of that. The whole purpose of these videos is going back to the groundhog, is to ask everybody to introspect. to do some deep seeking internal practices that get you in touch with reality and what's really going on. And that, of course, begins with all of the spiritual tools that I talk about on my videos. Um, I watched a really powerful video today on Instagram. A guy that is suffering from a disease that his one eye, his left eye was gone. His whole face is covered in bumps and boils. And um, he was talking about the struggle of living with this disease. I forget, maybe it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. I can't remember. But the point is that this man is suffering deeply from a very painful disease that has caused his face to literally look like a lizard. You know, all the little bumps um, and so he was sharing about how, you know, people also struggle with diseases that don't show up like his do, and how he was resentful of those who still, you know, are in a lot of pain and you know, complain and um, cry about these internal struggles, about how his is so much worse because you can see it. And eventually he came to a place where he understood that just because his pain and his disease is visible does not make it any more, you know, hard than somebody who struggles internally. And I could identify with this so much because my struggle has also been internal. Now, the consequences of that, of course, are very visible in my life. When you look at incarceration for half of my adult life, homelessness for so many years, you know, heroin addiction is not something that, you know, is easy to overcome. So he was saying about how those struggles can, of course, be a testament to people who have been through something or who are going through a similar struggle, can really identify with that. And so now that somebody that has gone through something like that and come out on the other side, you know, has a testament to people and can really help people. And that is the exact reason for these videos, is to let people know that it doesn't matter what you're struggling with. Everybody's going through and has their demons, okay? But that if we um, if we use this opportunity, you know, the healing is found in the wound. Okay, that's why, you know, wounded soldier, sacred soldier, all those phrases that I use in my videos and in my profiles are exactly pointing towards this spiritual medicine, that the healing comes out of the wound. And I have a lot of them. And that is why I feel like I'm in a unique position to spread a message of hope and freedom, you know, truth and justice. It has put me in a place where I have a significant amount of empathy. And that's the key word that he was speaking on, that I'm speaking to, is empathy here. You know, because I have been through that, because I have been through so much, that God has put me in a unique position to be able to connect with and really identify with people in the human struggle. And so if you're in the same boat, you know, you feel this too, then welcome.